Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're doing a recap and review of Love Island USA Season 2, Episode 2. So we're starting first off with one of the most interesting things from last night's episode, which was Johnny trying not to make sure, or I would say he's trying to make sure he hasn't burned any bridges with Kaitlyn. And I mean, I don't know if this is about maintaining a good friendship with her or if this is something where he's trying to keep her on ice just in case things doesn't work out with Cely. I don't know. I mean, I could see if they were in a true coupling and, he's trying to make sure, okay, I moved on. I just want to make sure you're all good. But they really didn't have that big of a connection where it was necessary for him to make sure that they were all good just because he decided to couple up with Cely. So, I don't know. You guys comment down below if you think that this is just about friendship and keeping things pretty good, or if this is all about him trying to keep her on ice just in case things don't work out. So now I'm going to talk about Carrington. Carrington was one of the guys that got a text last night about the new girl, Kirsten. And, I mean, granted, she's a very pretty girl. I mean, so is Kaitlyn. But I think Kaitlyn was giving Carrington vibes that she wasn't really that interested because she was trying to get to know several people. But my question is Kirsten going to be interested in Carrington as well? I don't know. So then we also have Rachel, who Jeremiah received a text about as well. She's a very pretty girl. Rachel's 21. Also, I want to mention Kirsten was 23. But with Rachel, they meet up in the jacuzzi and kind of have, some conversation. I don't know if there's, I would say, an instant connection between these two. I mean, I think Jeremiah has a lot of interest in Rachel, but I don't know if Rachel's there yet, And, I mean, he really was trying to get to know her. I know Justine is not a fan of the fact that, Jeremiah is with, of course, Rachel. But, they're going to have to figure it out. So both Jeremiah and Carrington bring Rachel and Kirsten down to meet the rest of the people in the villa. And, everybody is pretty much, introducing themselves. That's all cool. That's all good, So it seems like everything is all good. I know that Mackenzie and Connor, they're looking on. I mean, she made it perfectly known that that's her dude. Do not mess with Connor. And they were pretty much joking about it, Especially Kirsten when she, was trying to figure out who was more of a solid couple. And, Mackenzie was like, this is my dude, so I'm letting you know, I mean, hey. But, anywho, the conversation kind of went a little bit awry because she was cracking jokes. And then somewhere along the line, she kind of got offended. I don't know what that was about. I mean, you guys tell me, what do you think about her reaction to what, the rest of everybody was saying? But, I mean, she really didn't take too kindly to what was said, and she got up and walked off. I mean, Justine got up and followed her back to the ladies' area in their, in their makeup, in the beauty room. But, I mean, Mackenzie was like spazzing out. Oh, my God, if they can't take a joke, and I'm like, okay, what really ticked you off? I mean, and then the other biggest issue that Mackenzie had is the fact that Connor didn't run after her. She felt that because she was so emotional, that he was going to chase after her, and he didn't. He just pretty much stayed with everybody else and continued the conversation. And that made her feel some kind of way. I mean, ladies, what do you think? I mean, would that make you feel some kind of way if you got emotional and your guy didn't run off to the bathroom, or I should say run off and try to find you to console you? So actually, later on in the show, Connor actually apologized to her for not following her to make sure that she was okay, which I think that was cool. But let me ask you guys: do you think that was a little too late, or he should have did it right away? I mean, to me, I'm glad he said something. Something somewhere told him, you know what, I should have went and checked on my girl. So I don't know, but he apologized, and he they were talking about their past relationship and how Connor has only had sex 3 times, and she was pretty shocked by that. But he said he was in 3 relationships, so, and I mean, even though she was, teary eyed after the whole thing of, the whole joke, which I still don't understand, but hey, everybody's entitled to their own feelings. I'm glad that they did kind of lighten up the conversation. And after the connection, Mackenzie was saying that she has butterflies, um, and everything. And I think she had that emotional part with him so long to kind of get him to, feel a little bit more attachment. And I mean, he admitted, he was like, I should have been there for her. But couple of some of the other things that they talked about besides sex is, I mean, Mackenzie was like, he um, gives her butterflies, and then they had this conversation about, the cookies in the cookie jar. I mean, she told her, you can hide all of the cookies, but you got to hide a jar first. And I think that might have been a conversation that they had. I think it was right before bedtime. But I like these two. I really like these two. I hope that they're one of the long lasting couples, um, that make it through to the end, because I really do think they have a connection. And Connor seems like a very, very sweet guy. I mean, and she wants that down to earth type. I mean, she's used to dating millionaires, and and she's wanting a guy she can chill out with, watch some sports, and have a beer. And I mean, Connor looks like that type of dude. So hopefully these two, again, they're on my list. I'm hoping that these two will be able to make it. I mean, I think they make a cute couple, and they're so affectionate with each other. So, um, we'll see. I mean, I can tell by the smile on her face that, like she says, Connor gives her butterflies. I mean, just look at her body language, and how comfortable she is around him, how comfortable he is around her, how they look at each other. I mean, there's definitely a connection there between these two. So I'm hoping that, like I said, this is a long-standing couple. So let's talk about Johnny and Cely. I actually think they're cute together too. I mean, Johnny and Cely, they actually really have a strong connection with each other. I mean, she didn't have a connection with the other guy that she was with the day before, but Johnny wants to go all in for her. He finds her very fun, very attractive. I think this is my number 2 couple, you know? So it'll be interesting to see how this goes, but I still got question marks on Johnny on why he wanted to put um, Kaitlyn, in Don't Burn That Bridge zone, because I don't know. I think he kind of want to cross back over to see what's going on with Kaitlyn if something doesn't go right with Cely. So you guys let me know what you all think as well in regards to these two. How do you rank, your couples as well? But I think this is my number 2 couple. I mean, I think they got a lot in common, and their connection and chemistry is off the chain. I mean, just the smile on Cely's face, man. So then now we have James and Moira. And I mean, I really like these two. They have so much fun together. She likes him, definitely. That's a definite that she's crazy about James. However, there's a little shakeup with Kirsten there, because Kirsten comes over and kind of put a little monkey wrench into this thing and take James off to the side. And I know that makes Moira feel some kind of way, because I know she was building a connection. And, for the most part, I don't know. I don't know. James is open to, talking to other people. And I know the girls that was around Moira, and they asked her, hey, are you open to this? I don't know. Tell me, you guys, what do you think? Would you be, if you were on this type of show and you really have a connection with someone, I mean, even though you got to let them explore, how would it make you feel? I mean, but you can, she's wearing her emotions outwardly. And, Kirsten is like, I don't care. I want to know who James is. And she even said James is more her type. She tends to have a lot more fun or in common with James, even though she was matched up with Carrington. And I know, knowing Carrington, everybody he's been matched up with, he feels some kind of way when they're away from him. So I know he was kind of giving her the side eye too. But I don't know. Do you think these two, James and Kirsten, can be a possible couple? I mean, I like him better with Moira. I think the connection is better. And I think Moira wants him with Moira. So, I mean, I don't know. I think James kind of gave the vibes, that he really truly have more of a connection with her. So I just hope James tend to stick it out with Moira. I mean, I know he's open to explore other opportunities with, new people that's coming in the villa. But I honestly think he still have his heart there. And I mean, Kirsten did ask him, how you feeling about her? And he was pretty much like, I'm going to be honest with you. I do have a connection with Moira. So, I don't know. My choice, if I had to make a choice, I would say I would want him with Moira. So, and I mean, her facial expressions are priceless. And he made it known in that game, which we'll talk about later, the baggage game, who his choice was. So now we got Jeremiah again. And let's talk further about Jeremiah and Rachel. Now, I don't know. They have some form of a connection. I mean, that was evident that he went up and kissed her in the baggage game. But the connection with Justine is just not there. I mean, even though I think she's forcing it, he's not there with her. And I mean, that's what this conversation right now is about, the fact that, I think I want to be friends. The dreaded, we need to talk. I think it's best that we be friends. And I know that I didn't sit too well with Justine, because she wanted to try to see what she can build with Jeremiah. But Jeremiah is on a whole nother page. So he really wants to explore things with Rachel. And I think maybe he should go ahead and pursue that. Because if he has more connection there, don't waste your time with somebody that you know that you don't have a connection with. And I mean, even, Justine had that conversation with Cely about what they were talking about, and the fact that, he wants to be with Rachel or explore that. And, Cely was like, hey, there's going to be somebody coming upstairs for you. There might even be somebody here for you right now. You just never know. So just keep your options open. Open. So I'm glad Cely gave her the encouragement, because, Justine is giving herself a lot of frustration. I mean, she's putting herself in a frustrated state of mind, because she's getting sold on one guy, and when it doesn't work, it's like, oh my God. But, Justine is going to find that guy, and that guy is probably already there. As we actually saw, she had some conversation with Trey, and Trey was like, come walk with me. And she turned around and looked at Jeremiah like, if you don't want me, he do. So tell me, you guys, what you think about this particular matchup. You got a matchup with Trey actually expressing interest in Justine. Now, I don't know do you think Trey is actually interested, or this is just an option to keep him on the show? I hope not. I'm hoping that Trey really, truly feel somewhat of a connection that he wants to build upon with Justine, and not just using this as an opportunity to stick around to be coupled up with someone just to have somebody else come through the villa new and then hook up with that person later. Because all you're going to do is end up hurting Justine. So, I mean, he seemed to be sincere. He seems to be, he said we have some form of an interest. And he even said with Kaitlyn, it would be a one night stand. But with Justine, it would be a long lasting relationship. So I'm glad that he recognized that, if that's what his true intention is. And I'm hoping that maybe these two can connect so Justine can, actually start focusing on trying to build something with Trey, And he said something so sweet, and she was like, "Oh, Trey." I just thought that was so cute. But I'm hoping that these two can build something. He's not just trying to play the game to stick around. So it remains to be seen, but I guess at the next coupling, they're going to be a new couple. So it's already in the works. And I'm glad that, he is, open to exploring that if he's there saying this for the right reasons. So just don't hurt my girl Justine. She's already frustrated. Don't make it worse. I mean, he even put his arms around her to make her feel comfortable and everything, and put a smile on her face. So we shall see. And only thing is that they didn't walk down together, so that's interesting. It wasn't too much with Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn is just floating around, and we'll see what happens with her. So now we have the excess baggage game, and where they're going to have all these different things. It's the guys against the girls, or the girls against the guys, and each person told the producers a particular secret about their past, and they're going to reveal it so everybody can kind of get to know, the intimate details about one another. So our first one that we had was the girls reading the guy's secret. And the first one was somebody slept with a woman twice his age. And that particular person, and and you had to kiss the person that you thought was the one and then reveal the answer. I think people was kissing whoever they wanted to kiss. It had nothing to do with it. And Carrington was the person that slept with someone twice his age. So there was the next question, which was, he ran out of the girl's house naked and chased by dogs. Okay. And then, of course, of course, Mackenzie went and kissed her dude, knowing that wasn't him. Okay. But it revealed that it was actually Jeremiah. That was that. Okay. The next one was who slept with the friend's girlfriend to see if he could. And then there is the kiss. And of course, that was Rachel asking the question. I know Justine was feeling some kind of way about that, but that was before the Trey conversation. So the actual person was Trey, though, who slept with his girlfriend's friend. Okay. So who made out with the woman while the boyfriend was next to her? That was the next question. And of course, she kissed Jeremiah at the time. Again, this was before the Trey conversation, just to prove a point, I think, to Rachel. But anywho, the person that made out with a woman while the boyfriend was next to her was actually Johnny. Now, there was also a threesome with two married women, which was James. And then one person that lost their virginity at a one-night stand, which was Connor. Okay? So they continue to ask the questions. I thought it was pretty interesting. Tell me if any of those revelations would be a red flag to you ladies if you find out that any of the guys had did that. All right? So then it's flipped. And then we had the girls, and they, by the way, they scored a 3 on that. So I know I kind of jumped ahead of the actual scenes in the video, but I kind of wanted to get through it so you guys, because you guys probably watched it. But I mean, honestly, some of them would be a red flag, but I mean, it's people's past. Everybody has a past, right? It's what you do once you pass that point, okay? So, all right. So now it flipped to the girls, and then one question, well, the first one was who flipped the coin to see who she was going home with that night. That was Cely. Then there was the thing with the toilet paper, who said that they was on the side of the wrong too long. They was in, okay. They went number 2 on the side of the road because the line was too long. That was Moira. And then went to a fake wedding ceremony to get a $6,000 bracelet. Kirsten, don't surprise me. One had a gifted with a natural talent, and hers is sex. That was Rachel. And then the final question, which was wanted to be an FBI to dig up dirt on all of the guys. Yeah, that was Kaitlyn. So it was a pretty interesting game. I mean, guys, what would be your red flag if one of these, revelations were with a person that you were trying to get to know as well? So, it's going to be interesting to see how everybody connect, and how all this plays out with all of the secrets that's revealed. I mean, yeah, mention what your what your response would be to any of these revealed secrets that people have from their past. Again, everybody has a past, so you just never know. It's basically what they do after and where they come from after that point. So, but I think it was a pretty fun game. I mean, it would be something cool if you were playing at home around a group of people. I'm wondering if they even have a group game that they could actually play that with, But again, a lot of these folks that was kissing each other in this excess baggage game is because they wanted to, not because they actually thought that was the right answer, okay? So I think they had a good time, and it revealed a lot. And then I think the girls won because they scored 3 out of all of the answers, which they're cheering about, and they're excited that they won the game. And the guys only scored 1 point. So it is what it is. But honestly, it looked like they had a great time. Again, mention what's your favorite couple. I listed my top 2 earlier in the video. Again, we'll get ready for the next episode. But if you want to share this with any other, fans that enjoy the show, feel free to do so. I think they got a pretty good cast this time with the guys and the girls that they had. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the new people that come into the villa and who they actually connect with. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think right now, besides Carrington, who is basically out there floating, and so is Kaitlyn because she hasn't connected, most everybody else tends to be finding connections. So I'm just curious to watch the Trey and the Justine situation to see where that's going to go, because I'm not sure about that. But Carrington, if he don't get his act together, he's going to be probably voted off, because I don't see him having a connection right now, So we'll see. But please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share this with other Love Island fans. And then, of course, look out for more continued videos. We are also doing Married at First Sight review and recap, The Bachelor and Bachelorette when they come on, and we will see you next time.